Here are 7 reasons why Cristiano Ronaldo will never be the GOAT. Yeah, I know, he's got over 900 goals, a trophy cabinet that's bigger than some clubs, and a body that looks like it was rendered on PlayStation. Relax. No one is saying he's not an all-time great, but this video isn't about whether Ronaldo is great. It's about whether he's the greatest. Because when you really dig into the legacy, influence, and even the way he talks about himself, you realize something uncomfortable. There is one player who bends the whole conversation around himself, Lionel Messi. Messi doesn't just play football, he rewired it. Ronaldo scored goals, sprinted, jumped, posed. Messi changed the way we even think about what's possible with the ball. One of them defined the era, the other perfected his craft inside and out. And with that being said, let's look at the 7 reasons why Cristiano Ronaldo is not the greatest player of all time. What's going on, people, and welcome to my first video on this channel. If you're new here, this channel has gone through so many phases. Football edits, football documentaries, a podcast called GalacticOz. By the way, if you guys want to watch GalacticOz, we've moved the entire show to a new channel called GalacticOz. I'll put the link in the description below and in the comment section so you guys can check that out. But today's video, I'm going to do a controversial one. I've been wanting to do a video like this for a long time, and I asked you guys in the community tab if you guys wanted to see videos like this, and a lot of you said yes. So here it is. Reason 1, Messi exists, plain and simple. Let's start with the most brutal truth. If Messi didn't exist, Ronaldo might actually be the GOAT. He's done it in England, Spain, and Italy. He's broken Champions League records, smashed goal-scoring charts, and turned professionalism into a religion. If football wasn't just a spreadsheet, he'd be untouchable. The problem is, football isn't a spreadsheet. Messi still exists. Messi isn't just a goal scorer, he's an entire system. He drops deep, dictates tempo, creates chances, breaks lines, then pops up to finish a move that he started seconds earlier. How do you compete with that? Ronaldo just overwhelms you physically. He outjumps you, outruns you, outmuscles you. Messi overwhelms you intellectually. He outthinks you, outplays you, outmaneuvers an entire back four with just 2 touches. And then there's the World Cup. For years, Ronaldo fans hung on to the idea that Messi couldn't be the GOAT without that trophy. Then the 2022 final happened. Messi lifted it. He didn't sneak it. He dominated the tournament. The one narrative advantage Ronaldo had, gone. Messi is a major reason why Ronaldo isn't the GOAT. And that's not an insult. That's just what happens when you share an era with the best footballer who's ever lived. Reason number 2, the international story exposes the gap. On paper, Ronaldo's international career looks incredible. All-time top goal scorer for Portugal, over 200 caps, Euro 2016, Nations League, iconic celebrations, clutch moments, endless goals. We can continue on and on and on. But the GOAT conversation lives on a different level. When we think of Pele, we think of World Cups. When we think of Maradona, we think of the 1986 World Cup. And when we think of Messi now, we think Qatar, the final, that assist, that penalty, that run throughout the whole World Cup, like it was scripted. When we think of Ronaldo at World Cups, we think of group stage hat-tricks, a few big nights here and there, and then exits. No defining knockout masterpiece. No tournament that belongs to him in a way that 1986 belongs to Maradona or the 2022 World Cup belongs to Messi. And that's where Piers Morgan's interview becomes hilarious. Ronaldo suddenly says the World Cup is not my dream anymore.
If you ask me, Cristiano, is it a dream to win the World Cup? No, it's not a dream. Really? Yes. To win the World Cup, none will change my name in history of football. I'm not gonna lie.
You would love it, Cristiano, to win the World Cup.
Yeah, but not obsession.
And that he won't let, quote unquote, a 7-game tournament define his legacy. Which is funny, because for the last 15 years, he's been telling us that it was absolutely his dream.
To define what? To define if I'm one of the best of the history. To win one competition. 6 games, 7 games. You think it's fair?
There are clips, interviews, quotes. The man has literally said winning the World Cup with Portugal would be the pinnacle. Now that Messi's done it, suddenly it's just a 7-game side quest. You can't spend your whole career chasing something, then pretend you never cared the second your rival completes it. That's not GOAT behavior, that's coping behavior. Reason number 3, the Piers Morgan interview exposed everything. Let's get into that Piers Morgan interview. The Ronaldo Piers Morgan special might be the most unintentionally revealing football interview ever. It's not journalism. It's a therapy session caught in 4K. Piers Morgan's basically a professional yes man in a suit, wearing Ronaldo's aftershave, telling him that he's the greatest footballer of all time to his face like it's a paid advert. And Ronaldo loves it because it's an environment where he can say whatever he wants out loud, and Piers Morgan is just gonna agree.
Oh yeah?
He complains about awards being rigged. He downplays tournaments he didn't win. He casually suggests his Saudi League goals should count as the top 5 league numbers for Golden Boot and Ballon d'Ors. This is absolutely insane. He argues that it's harder to score in the Saudi League than it is in Europe. He even implies that Argentina winning the World Cup isn't shocking because they've done it before, as if history hands you automatic trophies or something. It's the exact same logic you see from the most deluded fans on Twitter, just read out by Ronaldo this time. Messi's fans worship him, but Ronaldo sounds like he's his own biggest fan. And that's the difference between him and the other GOATs. Pele didn't have to sit around and explain why he's the greatest. Maradona didn't do it either. He didn't have to go do PR runs to protect his legacy. Messi actively avoids these kind of conversations. But Ronaldo books studio time to talk about these things. When you have to keep telling people you're the GOAT, yeah, probably not. Reason number 4, the constant narrative shifting hurts his case. One of the clearest signs that Ronaldo isn't the GOAT is how often he has to move the goalposts. When he was neck and neck with Messi in the Ballon d'Or, the award was the golden standard. As soon as Messi pulled away, suddenly the Ballon d'Or was just politics. When he had more golden boots, he mentioned them all the time. And then when Messi caught up to him and then passed him, and silence. When the World Cup was still on the table, it was a dream. When Messi won it, just a 7-game tournament. When he played in Europe, the Champions League was everything. Now that he's in Saudi, we're told that the Saudi League is underrated and better than some European leagues, and that the goals there deserve the same respect. It's always the same pattern with Ronaldo. If Ronaldo's winning it, it matters. If someone else is winning it, it's flawed. GOATs don't need to edit the criteria every season. Their legacy sits above the argument. But for Ronaldo, the argument changes every time Messi does something historic. That's not how you win the debate. That's how you prove you've already lost it. Reason number 5, compared to the other GOATs, he lacks transformative genius. Let's be clear, Ronaldo is a freak of nature. And throughout this entire video, it seems like I'm bashing him, but he is one of the greatest players to have ever played the game. He's the perfect prototype for a modern forward. Pace, power, movement, heading, finishing with both feet, elite mentality, obsession with improvement. If you built a striker in a lab, it would literally look like Cristiano Ronaldo. But the GOAT conversation isn't about who looks most like a video game cover. It's about who changed football. Maradona changed how forwards play. Maradona turned chaos into an art form. Ronaldinho made flair feel mandatory. Messi literally altered the way we see the sport. Defenders started defending spaces that didn't exist before, and he invented them. Ronaldo transformed Cristiano Ronaldo. He reinvented himself from a winger to a 9, from a dribbler to a finisher, from a showman to an executioner. This is insanely impressive, but it's self-transformation, not sport transformation. Kids copy Cristiano Ronaldo's celebrations. They try his knuckleball free kicks all the time, and they hit the sui every time they can. But ask anyone with any ball knowledge, they understand that Messi is the better player. The GOAT is the player who changes how the game is imagined at every level, from playgrounds to tactic boards. That's where Ronaldo, for all his greatness, falls just short. Reason number 6, longevity is elite, but influence is what lasts. Ronaldo's longevity might be the most impressive thing about him. Literally, like you can pick out any other part of Cristiano Ronaldo. This is the most impressive thing. Still scoring bangers at 40 years old, still shredded, still sprinting, still treating preseason like a military camp. His commitment is absurd, but longevity is how long you can stay at the top. GOAT status, however, is about what you do to the game while you're there. Pele didn't need 20 years at the top to change football. Maradona didn't either. Messi, for a decade and a half, literally matched Cristiano Ronaldo's longevity, turned every league season and Champions League campaign into a running argument in his favor. Ronaldo's longevity adds chapters to his story, but it doesn't change the genre. He's still the ultra-efficient, hyper-driven goal-scoring machine. Historic? Absolutely. But does his existence alter what coaches ask from their number 10s, from their wingers, from their false 9s? Does it reshape how nations develop talent? Not really. He's the benchmark for work ethic. He's literally the blueprint for if you really want to make it in football. Messi is the blueprint for football itself. And let's be honest, over time, people don't remember how long you were great for. They remember how deeply you changed the game while you were there. Reason number 7, the GOAT is bigger than stats, and Ronaldo can't escape that. This is the part that Ronaldo fans hate the most. Because on paper, he's got an insane argument. More goals than anyone, Champions Leagues, league titles across countries, records for days. If the sport ended tomorrow and we only had numbers left, he'd be front and center. But the GOAT lives outside the numbers. The GOAT is the player who makes neutral fans stand up off the sofa. The one who turns defenders into memes. The one whose highlights you show to people who don't even like football and they still go, okay, yeah, that's ridiculous. That's Pele, that's Maradona, that's Messi. Ronaldo absolutely has iconic moments. The Atletico hat-trick, the bicycle kick against Juventus, that free kick against Spain. But his career, for all its brilliance, feels like a monument to efficiency more than a monument to magic. You respect Ronaldo, you study Ronaldo, you copy Ronaldo's habits, but you feel Messi. And that's why deep down, even Ronaldo fans seem obsessed with the comparisons. Messi's name somehow appears in every interview, every debate, every panel. That's the final tell. Ronaldo is one of the greatest footballers who has ever lived. His place in history is secure. But the GOAT is the one whose football answers every question before he even has to speak. And that has never been Cristiano Ronaldo. So where does this leave us? Cristiano Ronaldo is a legend, a freak athlete, a record-breaking machine who turned talent into an industrial project. He pushed boundaries, inspired millions, squeezed every last drop of his career. But when you talk about the greatest of all time, we're not just talking about goals. We're talking about players who bent reality, the ones who turned tournaments into personal myths, the ones who didn't need interviews to protect their legacy because they did it all on the pitch without having to speak. For Pele, for Maradona, for Messi, football itself looks different because they existed. For Ronaldo, football looks more efficient. He's the ultimate rival, the man who chased Messi so hard it forced him to reach even a higher level. Cristiano Ronaldo, legend forever, just not the GOAT. Now I know this pissed a lot of people off. Honestly, I wanted to make it as controversial as possible. And if you want to know my actual take on this besides the commentary that I just did, I genuinely believe Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the best footballers to have ever played. I think he's right behind Messi and Maradona. To me, he's the third greatest player of all time. I just don't think he can ever be considered as the GOAT. And honestly, it's not even about the World Cup for me. It's not even about that. I think if Ronaldo wins the 2026 World Cup, even if he does that, I don't think like that will make the conversation like, oh, you could be Ronaldo or it could be Messi. I still think it would be Messi. For me, he's just a player that I don't think we'll ever get again. Just the way he plays football, the things he did on the pitch, I have never seen that before, and I don't think I will ever see it till the day I die. So to me, that is a GOAT, the most pure footballing ability that we have ever seen, and I don't think it could ever be replicated by anyone, no matter how hard you train. It's just a gift from God. And unfortunately for Ronaldo, he just happened to be born in the same era. So that's what it is. I really want to do controversial videos. I've been seeing some people in TikTok comments and Twitter and that kind of thing mentioning how Zidane is overrated, how Ronaldinho's prime doesn't compare to Neymar or something like that. Like, I really want to do like really controversial stuff. So let me know in the comments what you would love to hear from me next, and I'll definitely look into that. Thank you guys for watching again. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell. I'll see you next time. Take care and peace.